Okay, hi. So I'm gonna do a quick 30-minute yoga video. This will be just like, simple yoga for whatever you need it for quarantine, for hanging out at home by yourself, for sitting down too much, for feeling low, for feeling high, for feeling anything, just like trying to just make it available to everybody, make yoga available to everybody. I know that it is, but ultimately this is for my dad and for the people in my life, maybe your dad too. So super simple. Feel free to get pillows or blankets if you feel like you need any of that stuff. We're gonna start by laying on our bellies. We'll keep it really pretty low to the ground, but like I said, if you feel like you want any blankets or pillows, feel free to have them because it might be nice to just have a little extra cushion. So we're gonna bring our leg out, kind of like a cactus, and our arms out like a cactus too, best you can. This arm is out, and I'm looking to one side. And I just want you to take a couple deep breaths, and if you want to rock a little bit on your foot or like wiggle your hips a little bit, always trust your instincts with this kind of stuff. There's a lot of right ways to do yoga, so try not to worry about if you're doing it right or whatever, but you can always reach out and ask questions or leave a comment if you feel confused. Try to close your eyes if you can and take a couple of deep breaths. Ultimately, try to breathe into your belly because your belly does a really good job of connecting with your calm response. When you breathe into your chest, it connects with your stress response. So challenge yourself to keep trying to stay calm, breathe into your belly, especially while you're stretching. So slowly switch to the other side. So you're gonna bring that leg straight back behind you, wiggle it out a little bit, and then the other leg comes out like a cactus. I just want you to look in the other direction. Big breaths. Always feel free to flutter your lips or stick out your tongue, let out a sigh. Really make your breath the most important part of all this, because ultimately, that's life, man. Your breath is always present. Your mind does a good job of taking you to the past. At least my mind does a good job of taking me to the past and taking me to the future, but my breath is always right now. Your breath is always present. Stay with it. Now I'm inhaling. Now I'm exhaling. All right. Bring your legs straight and put your hands underneath your forehead. Widen your legs so they go as wide as the mat, and wiggle your hips a little bit. And let your forehead rest on your hands. Shake your head no, loosen up your neck. And then just come to stillness and take 3 big breaths into your belly and into your lower back. Okay, use your hands under your shoulders and tuck your toes. Push yourself all the way up to a tabletop, and once you get into a table, just wag your tail. So go left to right. And when you wag your tail, look towards your hip. Maybe you actually have a tail, maybe you don't. If you did have a tail, what kind of tail would you have? Mine would probably be a foxtail, just because I think they're super cool. Okay, now I want you to look over you and look under you. Look over and look under. And try to make your spine move really smooth. It doesn't have to go any pace. I just want you to stay with your breath. Just simple movements, trying to feel out all those joints in your spine. Okay, so now I want you to try crossing your legs while you're in this tabletop. So right leg in front of the left leg. My knees are all the way together, my legs are crossed, And my feet are as wide as the mat. So I'll turn to face the front so you can see my knees a little bit more. They're crossed over. Really try your best to keep your feet, the tops of your feet, the shoelace part, on the ground. And now if you can, flip one of your hands backwards so your fingers come all the way out to the sides and then back towards the knees. And if you're like, that's crazy, Mara, then don't do it. You can always keep your hands on straight. It's just a good stretch for your wrist. And you can also move your hands a lot. So while you're in this leg crossing position, I want you to make circles. So feel for your tail, you know, whatever kind of tail you have, and make really big circles across the room behind you, across the wall behind you. Or maybe, you know, maybe you're outside in some awesome, really beautiful mountainous place, or like at a lake or something, but make circles on whatever it is that you can see behind you, and try to isolate your pelvis doing the movements, your tail doing the movement. And now change the direction of the circles that you were making. So if it was clockwise, go counterclockwise, and just do a couple more. Okay, put your hands on straight if they're not, and now switch which leg is in front. So bring the left leg across and over. If you need to use your hands to help you do it, you do. And if you can, flip the other hand backwards, or maybe you try both hands this time, or maybe you keep it moving. Remember, lots of right ways to do this, so trust your instincts. Do what's gonna help you feel more of your body, because the more you can feel in your body, the easier it's gonna be to use it to do all sorts of cool stuff for a longer amount of time. Change the direction of the circles that you're making with your tail. And we wanna be able to do cool stuff for a long time, or at least I do. And the motion is the lotion. Okay, out across your legs, take your hands out. And now tuck your toes and sit your butt towards your heels. Stretch your arms out so it's an active child's pose. And then I want you to come up and roll through like a cat. So round your back and come forward, shoulders over the wrists. And then push back to a child's pose. Stick your butt out, forehead down. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, roll back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, back. Now this time when you're forward, I want you to come through all the way to an up dog. So keep your knees down if you can. Keep tucking your toes and bring your chest forward and up. And then push down and back. Roll through, bring your chest forward and up, and then push back. I think it might have stopped. Yep. Oh, no, it didn't stop. Sorry, something happened to my computer and I thought it stopped recording, but it didn't. Okay, so go back to that. Toes tucked, roll forward and through, up dog, back to a child's pose. Roll forward through that cat, all the way into an up dog, and then back to a child's pose. Good. So now this time, go forward and through to an up dog, and then go to a down dog. So an upside down V shape. Lift your butt up, pedal your knees left and right, and let your head relax a little bit. Your legs can always be wider if you feel unstable, and your arms can always be wider if you feel unstable, because then you're more like a bear than a dog. And since bears are so heavy, they need a little bit wider base underneath them to help them. They got those nice big hands. So shake out your head, pedal your knees side to side. All right, now if you can, pick up one of your legs, bend your knee, roll your hip open nice and wide, and if not, then just pick it up, stretch it behind you, and do the best that you can to bring your foot between your hands. You can always pick it up and move it if you need. Now bring your back knee down on the mat and your front knee in your front armpits. Right now it's my right knee. And I just want you to rock forward and back with your knee in your armpit. The top of the back toes can be down. You could put a cushion under your knee if you needed, a blanket. But I just want you to rock forward and back. And see if, as you go back, you can exhale, and as you come forward, you inhale. Try to keep that knee in the armpit. And then the next time you're forward, stay there. Interlace your fingers across the top of your front thigh and push yourself up so that you can drop your tail and lift your belly, like you're tucking your tail underneath you. You could stay right here. If you want, flip your hands with that interlace grip, stretch them straight up. You could stay right here. If you want, hold on to the back of your head, lean back. Couple deep breaths. Okay, bring your hands down, push back to down dog, and switch to the other side. So that upside down V shape, left leg lifts if you can, roll it open if you need. Step it through real quiet. Use your hands to help you get it there if you need. And now it's opposite knee and opposite armpit, so left knee and left armpit. And then rock forward and back. You hear my creaks, my crickles and crackles, snap, crackle, pops. Next time you're forward, stay forward. Interlace the fingers across the top of the front knee. Let your tail drop and your belly lift. So you're really getting into that stretch across this front hip flexor, this back hip flexor. Maybe you lift your arms up. Maybe you do a supported back bend. Nice. Okay, sit down. Back to a down dog. One more time. Push your chest to your thighs, and then one hand at a time, walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Hang over your legs. You can grab for, interlace the fingers at the nape of your neck and pull your elbows down. You can also grab for opposite elbows if you'd like. Or if you're feeling it's really challenging to fold over, put your elbows on top of your thighs and let your head go. Because then you're taking out some of the effort from your torso and from your back. You're using your arms to help you. Try to keep your feet separated, at least hips width distance apart. 2 fists is a good measurement for your hips. We're gonna slowly roll up. So we're gonna try to practice a folding chair. So we're gonna come from a mountain pose, which is this, just arms up overhead. If you can, interlace your fingers and flip your palms out. Stretch your hands up and push your feet down, and then start to bend your knees and fold yourself in half. The fold happens at your belly. So really try to pull your belly in, stick your butt back, and fold all the way over. So you're halfway, like a folding chair. And then you drop your arms down, let them hang, and roll yourself up to stand. Inhale up at the top, stretch up, interlace the fingers, maybe a little back bend. And then as you exhale, bend your knees, stick your butt back, put your belly to your thighs, your chest to your knees, and fold all the way over and down. And drop. 2 more times. Inhale, roll up. Arms up at the top, finish the inhale. Exhale, fold down. Butt back, chest forward, arms forward, and then drop it. Last time. Inhale all the way up, long deep breath. Exhale all the way down. Great. Walk your hands all the way to the front of the mat. Come to an upward push-up plank. Lower your knees, lower your chest all the way down to the mat. Walk your legs nice and wide, kind of like we started. Walk your hands nice and wide and lift your elbows up. Now you can tent on your fingers, or you can keep your palms flat on the floor. Up to you. Snake through your spine, roll all the way up and roll all the way down. You're using the strength of your arms, the strength of your back, the strength of your legs. Try to keep your movement really smooth as you go up and down. Don't force it, don't throw yourself around. Keep it real simple. Awesome. Bring your hands under your shoulders, tuck your toes, use your hands and knees, push yourself all the way up and away from the floor, and then sit your hips back down towards your heels. So an extended child's pose, an active child's pose, reach your hands forward with the toes tucked, reach your butt back, and then come forward into a table and up into a dog. Nice. Lift your right leg up. This time, as quietly as you can, step your foot all the way between your hands, but then see if you can separate your feet so you're standing on railroad tracks. If you want to put your back knee down because you need the balance, feel free. But otherwise, try to lift up and balance on the ball of your back foot, keeping your heel lifted on top of the toes, and then the heel of the front foot. So really push down. Lift your arms up if you can. Drop your tail, pull your belly in just like before. Maybe arms up, maybe back bend, deep breath. Awesome. Bring your hands down, and this time, bend and straighten one leg at a time. So front leg, back leg, just to shift yourself forward and back. You can do this with your hands on the floor. You can do this with your hands on your couch if you want to, or on your countertop if you need a little extra support. You can put books underneath your hands or yoga blocks if you have them, but just rock left to right. And then walk your hands all the way over to the left. So now you're in a wide-legged fold. And I'm going to turn around because I don't want to moon you. So a nice wide-legged fold, drop your head, lift your butt. Now pedal your knees left and right. Good. So keep walking your hands to the side. So now we get to go all the way to the left leg. So your left leg is in front. Step your feet, open them like railroad tracks, just like we did before. And then try to lift your torso up. Find your balance, pull your belly in, stretch up over your head. Maybe interlace the fingers, maybe hold on to the back of your head. Remember, drop your tail, lift your belly, really reach up, push into the feet, lift your chest high. Big breath. Awesome. Bring your hands down, bend and straighten one leg and then the other. Front knee, back knee. Front knee, back knee. Staying buoyant on your hands, buoyant on your feet. You could go as fast or as slow as you want. And now walk your hands over to the side. So one more wide leg fold, left to right. But this time, let's add a twist to it. So keep one of your hands down. Maybe start with the right hand down. Right knee bends. Lift your left arm up. And then switch it. Left hand down, right arm up. So you could just go up and down as you're twisting, but you can also make circular motions. So sweep one of your arms back by your hip, then up towards the ceiling, then forward in front of you, and then all the way down. So it's like you're doing a big freestyle swim all the way across the ocean. All the way back, all the way up, all the way forward, all the way down. Keep lifting your butt up, bend your knees as much as you need. Just a couple more deep breaths of this. Pull your belly in, puff your chest up. Awesome, and then hang over your legs, good. Nice and easy, turn your heels in, turn your toes out, and put one elbow at a time on your thighs, so a squat. So some of you might be able to squat really low. Some of us can't really squat super low. I'm sorry that my phone is on, you can hear it. You can hear it text messaging. So you can keep your elbows on your thighs and just work on flattening your back, trying to work on moving your pelvis and getting it to uncurl. You could sit all the way down and squat. It's just important that you don't round your spine and collapse when you're squatting. Try to work towards a flat back. So butt more down, chest more up. Couple deep breaths. Remember, you could be here with the flat back. Stick your butt out. Awesome. Put your hands down, put your knees down, and let's cross the legs again. Right leg in front of the left leg, widen your feet. This time, rock yourself forward and back. See if you can get your butt all the way down and back between your 2 feet. You might not get there, and that's okay. You're still a good person. All right, awesome. One more. So switch, other leg in front, forward and back. You go as fast or as slow as you want to. Remember, you can always pause. All right, nice. So uncross your legs and sit on your butt. And then once you're on your butt, bring the soles of your feet together and your knees open wide. Pick up the good stuff, the fleshy parts, and move it out of the way. Really try to sit right in the center of your pelvis. So never tucked under into your butt, never really sticking your chest out and your butt back, right in the middle. So you're right up on top of yourself, like you're on a spit. You can stay just like this. This is probably where I'll stay for this stretch. You could walk your hands forward. Just make sure when you walk your hands forward, you don't round your spine. You keep it nice and flat. Your feet can be closer to you. They can be further away from you. It's up to you. You can also sit on a pillow to help you here. Let's just take 3 deep breaths and try to breathe into your belly. Awesome. Let's do a little foot stretching before we lay down on our backs. So bring your knees and your feet together, tuck your toes all the way under, and sit your hips on your heels. I like to spread out my toes just to make sure they're good and stretched out. And then try the best that you can to keep your heels together so that they go right underneath your butt. If you need a cushion underneath your knees, or if you need to stand all the way up, totally cool. Let's add a shoulder stretch to this. So lift your right arm up, bend at your right elbow so your right hand goes towards your lower back. Take your left hand on your right elbow and just pull it straight up towards the ceiling. Lift your chest up, pull your belly in, and take 3 deep breaths. Try to stay focused, stay calm. 1 more breath. Okay, if you can stand it, take that right arm, cross it in front of you. If you need to stand up or point your toes, you're welcome to, but we won't be here forever because the class is only a couple more minutes. So try to keep that toe tuck. I know it's a lot. Give it a chance to stretch. How often do you stretch your feet? Probably never, but you're on them all fucking day long. So try to use, stretch your feet. Okay, release that arm. So now point your toes. Sit your hips on your heels, and now lift your knees up to stretch your ankles. So it's the reverse stretch of that. You could just lift and lower it. You might just be able to sit your hips on your heels. You might put a pillow under your knees. You might put a pillow under your butt. Nice, we'll do it one more time the other side. So tuck the toes again. Sit your hips on your heels. Spread out your toes. This time your left arm lifts up. Bend at the left elbow. Grab a hold of the left elbow with the right hand. Sit up tall. You got this. Almost there. Keep breathing. Try to stay calm. So even when something's challenging, you challenge yourself, or you try to get yourself to practice staying calm, even if it's challenging. Practice staying calm. Close your eyes. See if you can cross the arm in front. Breathe into your belly. Your belly's connected with that calm response. Inhale from the nose to the belly. Exhale back out. Again. Nice job, people. Okay, point your toes. Hips on the heels again. Move the flesh out of the way. And then lift your knees up. You can make some circles if you like. All right, so now sit on your butt. We'll do a couple more things while we lay on our backs. Just coming to a finish. So once you're on your back, cross your legs again, just like we did in that tabletop, and then see if you can't grab for opposite feet. So my left hand is grabbing my right foot, the right leg is on top, my right hand is grabbing my left foot, and you can pull your feet in close to your butt. You can pull your feet away from each other, out to the sides of the room. You can also pull your feet up toward your face. You can rock a little side to side. You can also just hold on to your knees as you cross them like this and make some circles with your thigh bones and circle up your lower back and your tail again. Nice. All right, now open it up to happy baby. So soles of the feet face the ceiling, just nice wide legs, rock side to side. You can grab the backs of the knees if you need to, or your ankles. You can straighten one leg and then the other. You can shake them out a little bit. And then let's switch. So now put your left leg on top, cross your legs. grab opposite feet if you can, and then just keep playing around with how you're gonna hold them in. If you wanna let your knees go forward, if you wanna bring them in, if you wanna pull the feet out to the sides. Lots of good stretches for the IT band, for the hip flexors. Little rocking side to side. All right. Now this time, pull your feet in together, pull your feet towards your face. One more big happy baby, stick out your tongue. Awesome. Put your arms out like a cactus, separate your feet as wide as the mat, and just windshield wiper your shins left to right. So this will be our last stretch that we'll do before we lay down. So just rock left to right. Windshield wipers is nice. You can keep windshield wipering, or if you want, let both of your knees fall to the left. And then put your left ankle on top of your right thigh just to give it a little extra stretch in your hip flexor. Try to close your eyes, relax your face. And then take your foot off your thigh. A little more windshield wiper. Loosen it up a little bit. And then let both of your knees go to the other side. You can put your right ankle on top of your left thigh if you like, make it a little more intense. Awesome. Take your ankle off your thigh, bring it back to center. Just because we have another 2 minutes, one more thing. So a bridge pose, you can do a bridge pose with your hands by your sides. You can walk your feet in really close to your butt, keep them hips width to help you get a little higher. You can walk your shoulder blades underneath you and try to hold your hands with an interlace grip underneath. Try not to turn your head side to side, look straight up if you can. Weight goes under the tops of the shoulders. Couple deep breaths. Let your chin drop towards your chest. And slowly release your hands. Walk your shoulders out from underneath you and lower your butt down. Put your arms out wide, put your legs out wide like a starfish. And just rotate your wrists and rotate your ankles, loosening it up a little bit. So get yourself in a comfy position, whether you're lying down, whether you're sitting up, maybe you're on your belly like we started the class. Maybe you let your knees fall in towards each other and put your arms out like a cactus. Sometimes that feels really nice. Close your eyes if you can. And just take a couple deep breaths together to seal off the practice. Thank you so much. Of course, let me know if you have any questions. We're going to do a few breaths, and we're going to try to think of the breaths as 4 parts. So maybe think of them as the seasons, or maybe think about it as the phase of a clock, but 4 parts to your breath. So the first part is the exhale, empty completely. The second part is the emptiness at the bottom of the exhale. The third part is the inhale, fill yourself up. And the fourth part is that pregnant pause at the top of the inhale. And then you exhale again for 1. Hold it for 2. Inhale for 3. Hold it for 4. 2 more times. Exhale 1. Hold it 2. Inhale 3. Hold it 4. Exhale 1. Hold it 2. Inhale 3. Hold it 4. And exhale. So try to go slow to come out of this. Roll yourself to one side. Push yourself up with your top hand. Enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know if you need anything. Thank you so much. Good job.